Just recently, a valued viewer of this very channel graciously provided me with a truly direct and also a remarkably honest opinion. She took the time to write to me and explicitly stated, "Absolutely no one has definitively decided at what specific age our inherent abilities truly begin to decline, sir. It was the evidence and the observation of scientists over centuries." And she is absolutely right. But, and here's an important but, that is the truth of the last century. If you stay with me for the next few crucial minutes, I'm going to thoroughly show you that the scientific evidence they frequently talk about, and that has actually genuinely scared you and many other individuals for a considerable number of years, is now an entirely outdated truth, no longer relevant in the present day. For centuries, science has primarily limited itself to merely observing how human beings slowly wither away, meticulously documenting that gradual decline, precisely measuring the significant loss, and carefully recording our inevitable decay. That was science, specifically in relation to the field of gerontology. That was what is called classical gerontology, in other words, the chronicle of a foretold defeat. But today I'm here to tell you that simply observing is no longer enough. Because watching someone grow old without doing anything is exactly the same as watching a house burn down and not calling the fire department. Today we're not going to talk about how we surrender to time, but about how we've decided to intervene in it. Undoubtedly, getting older is mandatory, but aging is largely optional, and that's my challenge, to help you understand this. So, welcome to the Manifesto of the New Longevity. Traditional gerontology was born in a world where medicine was reactive. You waited for the engine to break down before trying to fix it. Old age was studied. Where? In hospitals, in nursing homes, in people who had already lost their vitality. They were the elderly. They had to be studied. And here I'm going to give you a simple example. Just imagine for a moment you set out to meticulously study the behavior of powerful lions, but when you actually do, you only focus on observing a particular group of lions that live and act inside a very small cage. And not only that, but they're also consistently and poorly fed. What would happen? Well, in the end, you'd end up saying that the lion is a slow, sad, and weak animal. And that would be the evidence, right or not? However, the prevailing reality is that this collected evidence is only partially complete. It is inherently biased and therefore incomplete. 20th century science documented the aging of sedentary, malnourished, and stressed people, and this was what they called natural laws, when in reality these were consequences of a very specific lifestyle. Well, the new longevity does not deny biology. What it denies is that we are passive subjects of it, that is, that we are absolutely dependent on it. And this is where the paradigm is blown apart and epigenetics comes into play. I've said it in other videos. For decades, we were told your genes are your destiny. If your grandfather had this, if your mother had that, if your father had something else, you would have it too. And today we know that this is completely false. Your genes are like the keys of a piano. The keys are there, that's where the genes are, each and every one of them. But you are the pianist, and you decide whether to play a certain key or not. As a scientific detail, remember this information. Epigenetics studies the chemical markers that determine which genes are expressed and which remain silenced. 80% of your longevity depends on your lifestyle, not your inheritance. Remember this information. Your genes are, in the end, like imagine, the blueprints of a house. If the builder decides not to place the bricks exactly where the blueprint indicates, or if you decide to come in and say you're going to remodel the kitchen, the house will ultimately be different from the one the architect designed and that appeared in the plans. Well, your lifestyle is what determines what you eat, how you move, or if you don't move, how you think. And it's like the builder who decides which part of the blueprint gets carried out and which part doesn't. What stays just as it was and what gets remodeled. And here, please keep one truly important thing in mind. I am absolutely not misinforming you in any way whatsoever. What I am genuinely trying to do is to make you profoundly aware that you, yourself, hold the ultimate remote control to your very own genes. And I am also endeavoring to explain precisely why this is the case. Having that incredible remote control is indeed a truly liberating experience, but it is also, without a doubt, a significant responsibility. You can no longer therefore blame mere luck or even your genetic inheritance from your grandparents. Now you know that your health depends on your daily decisions. Medicine, thank you. Medicine in the past became obsessed with what they called lifespan, that is, life expectancy, and they would say, we have managed to make people live to 85 years old, and they were all proud of it. But they never said what price had to be paid, and what good is it to live 10 more years if you spend them bedridden, without memory, or without autonomy. The new longevity focuses on Healthspan, which means healthy life expectancy. And in this sense, I have to make it clear that when I stand here in front of the camera to talk to you, I am not trying in any way to achieve the goal of adding years to your life. I am neither God nor any kind of teacher nor anything like that, much less a magician. What I aim to do is help you add life to your years, however many they may be, but to all of them. Adding life to your years isn't just about your legs being able to walk. It's about your mind not being your worst enemy. It's about being able to reach 90 or 100 or 120, however many years God gives you, with the curiosity of a child and the serenity of someone who has mastered their emotional intelligence until the very last day of your life. It's profoundly important that when you eventually take your very last breath, you do so having truly lived a wonderfully full and complete life with all your precious abilities, and that you do it having valiantly fought to create a deep sense of inner peace and lasting security within yourself, your mind, and your spirit. And that's how it should be, no matter how difficult your circumstances may be. What truly matters is that when you eventually leave, you can look your beloved loved ones directly in the eye and sincerely say, "Thank you for always being there for me." And also, above all else, I sincerely hope that I have been truly able to inspire each and every one of you, despite any minor mistakes or perceived weaknesses that I may have exhibited. What I truly want is for your overall health curve to consistently remain perfectly flat and only drop quite suddenly at the very end when your inevitable time ultimately comes, as it indeed does for all of us, without exception. I'm trying to help you so that it doesn't become a slow 20-year decline into agony. This requires moving from reactive medicine, that is, medicine that treats disease, to precision and preventive medicine. That kind of medicine that focuses on maintaining your health. In short, stop constantly putting out those immediate urgent fires and instead become a true expert in proactive fireproofing. Oh, what a truly insightful and powerful word that is. An expert in fireproofing. It's not the same to carefully study and understand why someone unfortunately died at the age of 90 as it is to diligently study what someone actively did to still be traveling, exploring, and truly enjoying life at that remarkable age of 90. At 100, and it's possible. To our valued viewer and to absolutely everyone who genuinely believes that the concept of decline is an unchangeable age set in stone, I emphatically say this: the compelling evidence is continuously changing because we, you and I, as individuals and as a collective, are actively changing and evolving. I'm not ignoring gerontology, I'm simply watching it evolve. We're transitioning from being passive victims of mere observation to actively becoming protagonists of meaningful intervention. The new longevity is a choice. It's deciding that you won't be the statistic from a century ago. It's understanding that today we have technology and supplementation, nutritional knowledge, and exercise science so that your 70s can be the new 40s. Your body is not an object that wears out. Get that out of your head. It's an ecosystem that regenerates itself, but only if you know how to treat it. And what I humbly intend, but also with all my strength, is not just to talk science. Above all, and this is very important, it's to talk to you about your freedom. This manifesto isn't for you to just listen to. It's for you to sign with your habits as your own, starting tomorrow. And one more very important thing, because I know there are so many individuals out there currently living under the oppressive shadow of the fear of decline. Well, you would truly be doing me a tremendous favor, and I sincerely trust it would genuinely help them too, if you would kindly share these valuable videos. By actively sharing them, you can help me effectively make this vital message of profound freedom reach all those who mistakenly think it's already far too late. When it isn't, let's help them together. And you, in the meantime, as always, start enjoying your longevity and always keep moving forward. Always forward. I'll read your comments.